So great catching up with my next guest. It is Ray Cooper is going to be taking on Rory MacDonald this Friday at PFL, part of the playoffs here. Ray, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. Everything good. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's good to talk to you. Like I was telling you off air. When did you get in? I know obviously you just got in from Hawaii.
Yeah, we got in about what was it, 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock
Wow.
yesterday.
Okay, because it's like noon, I think, Eastern time right now, right? If I'm correct there.
Yeah, I think so.
Gotcha. Wanted to start first. I saw your interview with Rob DeMello where you talked about Rory's fight with BJ Penn and, obviously sort of kind of getting one back for BJ after watching that fight 9 years ago. Just tell me your excitement level getting to, knowing that you're going to fight Rory.
Yeah, it was just the thing that I watched him fight Rory back in the day when Rory was up and coming and he was a young, vicious fighter. Yeah, BJ is like a big inspiration to me. I watched him through my childhood as he fought in the 90s and the early 2000s. So it's gonna be good to just get one back for him.
Yeah, and when you were watching that fight, did you feel like you would fight Rory someday after watching that? Was MMA, because you were training MMA back then, I assume.
Yeah, I was fighting already. I started fighting when I was 18 and I was 19, I think, when they fought. And yeah, I had no idea I was gonna fight him. I wanted to fight him just because he was such a great fighter, and he was a prodigy of George St. Pierre, and both of them defeated BJ. So it was kind of like George St. Pierre's prodigy going and beating BJ Penn. He's a legend in Hawaii, and now I get a chance for redemption for him. So it's going to be good, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for this fight. You mentioned being a fan of BJ. Have you spoken to him? Do you talk to him at all, or is it just one of those things you were sort of a fan from afar?
I mean, I spoke with him quite a few times, and he he's still he's real close with my other cousin Kai. Um, he They have the same kind of sponsorships with Ruka, so Kai sees him a lot, and I talk to BJ a lot, kind of through social media, and um, when he comes down to Oahu, he goes and cruises with my family, and yeah.
Good stuff, man. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy in Rory's last fight against Gleison Tibau. I'm assuming you've watched the fight. Did you think that Rory won that fight?
Yeah, I watched some of the fight, but I didn't watch the whole thing. But from what I was watching, I feel like Rory won that fight. But it was a close fight. It could have went either way. But everybody that watches fighting and everybody that's a long time fighting fan, they know that Rory kind of edged out on the decision. And
What are sort of your overall thoughts on Rory just in the two fights in PFL? He got that quick win over Curtis Millender, and then the last fight. Have you been impressed with what he's done so far?
I mean, I wouldn't say impressed. I watched him fight throughout the years, and it's nothing that I haven't seen before. Um, yeah, he's an all around great fighter, and there's nothing that impresses me, and um, I'm not impressed by his performance.
I was just
as
going to
you can
say, I was
say.
literally going to say that, man. That was a good call. Yeah, the old George St. Pierre line on Matt Hughes. And then, style wise, how do you look at this fight? Because I doubt this fight's going to the ground. I mean, you two, both, this has got fight of the night written all over it.
I think it might go to the ground because I don't think he's gonna want to trade with me. I'm gonna keep the fight standing as long as possible. But there's gonna come a time when he's gonna try to shoot, and then yeah, we'll see. But I'm not gonna be the one he's gonna be taking down. If he thinks he's gonna try to out wrestle me, he got a different thing coming, because I can beat him everywhere the fight goes. So yeah, wherever the fight goes, I'm gonna dominate him.
And not to give away the strategy here, but Rory's broken his nose I don't know how many times, and it seems like that's something that has affected him in certain fights, especially with breathing and all that. Is that something you're thinking of? Do you sort of take notes on that he has had his nose kind of, he's undergone surgery and things of that nature?
No, I don't really think of anything about that kind of that kind of tactics. I'm just gonna punch a hole in his face. It doesn't matter where his bones is broken, and yeah, yeah.
Okay. Training camp, who'd you get to work with this time around? I know it's usually the same training partners, but who did you mainly get to work with?
It's nobody special. Just my brothers and my dad, and that's it.
Okay, gotcha. No one different with this one. And how's the weight cut going? I know you've always made weight, and there's never usually been any issues there. How's everything going this time around?
Everything's doing good. We're kind of now. This is the first time we're like kind of almost back to normal. As on fight, as the week of the fight, we get to I get to stay on my own Hawaii time. I don't really change the time zones. I stay on my regular time zone, and I get to train. Like right now, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning at home, so I get to sleep all the way to probably 2 o'clock here or 3 o'clock here, because it's like 9 o'clock, and that's when I usually train. So, and at night, it's when it's like 2 o'clock in the morning here. It's like 8 o'clock back home, and that's the time I usually train. And it's the first time I get to do that now, because the last 2 fights we couldn't train. They were shutting the gym down, and like
I heard about that. Yeah, Tyson Nam. I talked to him. He was saying with the pandemic rules in Hawaii that everything was like you had to kind of be secretive about training.
Oh, I guess yeah. For the guys that had to go to the gym, they were shutting down the gyms and stuff. I have my gym at home, so
there you go. Really there you go. No one's going to come knocking on your door, right? Unless you let them in. So you're good there. That's awesome. Yeah. And then who will be in your corner for this fight? I imagine your dad.
My dad and my 2 brothers.
That's great. Where does this opponent rank in terms of, you fought Jake Shields, you fought some of the legends in MMA. Rory's an interesting case because not only is he, a pretty big name, but also, just the style matchup. Like, where does he rank as an opponent in terms of who you fought in your career?
I think he's going to be ranked like probably my second biggest fight, because my all-time fight is Jake Shields. He was my toughest fight. Coming into the PFL and started my big promotion fight scene now. So I think he's gonna be my second biggest fight, and yeah.
Fair enough. Well, and that was more direct redemption there, because obviously your father fought Jake, and obviously you wanted to get that one back for him. So that's kind of interesting. How's the fight playing out? How do you see it unfolding on Friday?
I see it unfolding as I'm gonna dictate everything on the fight. I'm gonna be the one pressing the fight. I'm gonna be the one choosing where the fight goes, standing on the ground, and I'm looking for a finish. And I was kind of disappointed in my performance, my second fight, letting it go to the judges. I think I was a little bit too passive with the fight. I let him get away too much, and I'm not going to let this next fight get away.
And who do you see winning the other side of the bracket? You've 2 opponents who you've already fought, and Sai and Magmed Kurmiov. Who do you see winning that one?
I wanna see Magomed win, so I can get that rematch back.
Yeah, I bet.
Nothing against Sai. He's a great fighter too, but I want my rematch.
And how do you think a rematch would go the second time around if you guys fought?
The second time, when we're gonna fight, I'm gonna dictate the fight, that fight too, and not make any mistakes. And I'm gonna crush him this time.
Aside from yourself, do you think he's the toughest guy in the tournament, or do you think it's Rory in terms of the toughest challenge?
I think that Magomed is the toughest guy, the most skilled guy in this division. He's a great wrestler, and he's all around good. And yeah.
Okay. You mentioned your schedule, kind of getting up a little bit later. What's on the agenda for the rest of the day? I'm sure a bit of training, but do you watch any TV or do any sightseeing? What do you normally do during fight week?
I normally just play games.
What are you playing right now? What video games?
I'm usually playing, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, of course. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm a video game guy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, that's good.
Yeah, I'm just mainly playing Red Dead right now.
Are you any good?
Oh, yeah.
Are you? Okay. Do you play with other fighters? Do you do like the online thing, or you just do it like by yourself?
No, I play online, but I don't play with any other fighters. It's just me and my brother that just kind of we make our own like, gang and
Okay.
run around and do stuff.
It's fun. Yeah, a lot of fighters play. That's why I ask, because, it
Yeah,
seems like because, of course, what else are you going to do other than, obviously being a dad and everything else? You got to have that video game time, right? How important is that, by the way, to just have an outlet that's not fighting and kind of take your mind off things sometimes?
yeah, it's very good. I play games and I also ride dirt bike. So that riding dirt bike is not a big thing that I do. Um, riding my kids ride too. So it's a
That's
good.
awesome. I had no idea about this. How long you been doing that? Probably your whole life?
When I was younger, I used to ride. I used to ride track before, but as I got older, it's a dangerous sport
I was going to say,
riding
yeah, you probably
motocross.
can't do both that and fighting like, as a
Yeah,
career, right? Was that something you
riding.
ever thought of as a career, is to do dirt biking?
Yeah, I used to. I wanted to race because my cousin them used to race planning. And we used to go to the track and race. But at the time, I was wrestling too, so I would I would pile up planning times because I'm trying to chase down my cousin them because they used to race and my dad used to he had cut that line short because I was wrestling at the time and those two sports don't go together. So
No.
mainly I do like trail riding and just it's just to have fun and get out of there, be in the mountains and my kids want to run a race. So but yeah, it's a big thing with me and I love being in the mountains and riding their bike.
Are you steering your kids more towards the dirt biking career or fighting career? I know they're young, but is that something you thought of?
Yeah, it depends. My daughters is really good. They're growing up, right? They've been growing up riding, and they're pretty good. So we'll see later on, but they're gonna wrestle and ride. I'm gonna let them choose what they like. I'm not gonna stop them from doing anything.
It's good parenting right there. Ray, this was awesome, man. Thanks for taking the time. I know you probably got to get up and get your day started, but just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media. If you got any sponsors you want to mention, I'll give you the last word here, man.
Yeah, just Ray Cooper on Instagram, and thank you to my sponsors, Hawaii's Finest, HFG, Hawaiian Fight Gear, Poke by the Pound, and to everybody back home in Hawaii. I love everybody and watch on Friday.